Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Elizabeth. I am a medium, divine channeler, remote spirit extractor, white witch, and divine alchemist, and I also happen to be a divine twin flame on the path to reunion. Thank you, everyone who subscribed to the channel. Thank you for those of you who left amazing comments, and for those of you who became clients. I am really so happy that the reading sessions have been helping you, and now I'm offering the light language healing sessions to further help you to shift energy and to get to the next level. So I'm just really blessed. I'm glad that I'm doing my mission to help people. It feels amazing to help people, and I'm going to continue to do all that I can, including these videos. So this video, it might be a little raw. Okay, so I had gone through a lot the last 24 hours with some of the really dense energies coming up from the new moon in Capricorn. And this new moon in Capricorn actually is pretty significant, and we'll talk about why in terms of the energies and what to recognize and how to work with it and how it plays in to union energies. Capricorn, of course, is physicality, everything that's physical. I know Pluto plays into this conjunction as well. I'm not an astrologer. Some of you out there, that's more your forte, so you may know a little bit more there about, the charts and how that works. But the new moon in Capricorn certainly places a focus on physical life, physical lifestyle, physical relationships, physical health, of course, physical sexuality, and it really brings a whole overhaul of how life physically is being lived, getting us to look at a lot of those patterns, those beliefs that have been limiting us, that have been a part of a cycle. For some, it's related to an actual karmic partnership and learning in that way. For others, maybe a physical partnership relationship doesn't come into play. But it's about the cycle itself nonetheless. So this particular cycle closing down, I know we talked about in the last video with Merlin about there's a little bit more work to do before this cycle is closed. And boy, did that work come up for me the other day in terms of triggering and purging out things that I have been working on, but there was more of it left. There was that last layer left. So, for those of you who are still a little unsure about, the work, it takes time. It takes time to go through the work, to go through our blockages, to go through those traumas, to get through those layers of things. It's not a 1, 2, 3 overnight thing, and we can't rush ourselves. So people often say, oh, well, it's been years going through this, and I can't take it anymore, and I'm exhausted, and this person is not giving me that proof, and they're not responding to me, and they're not communicating with me, and they're still with this karmic partner, or they're still engaging in their toxic patterns, toxic habits, toxic addictions, all of those sorts of things. And I just don't know what to do with this anymore, and it looks like it's not going to happen, or maybe it's not even real. Maybe I was wrong about it. Maybe it's not even true. Our minds, our egos, right? The ego is not an evil thing. It's for us to use our ego for simple things, simple day-to-day tasks. But when we let the ego run the show, and, it's humanism where that can happen, that's when we get into trouble. And that, when they say the monkey mind gets out of hand, right? And we want to understand everything in terms of wanting to control everything and stay attached to things and make stories up and script things in our heads. And then when things don't exactly pan out, we get disappointed, we get angry, we get resentful, We start questioning our sanity. We start questioning the other person. We start questioning everything that we've come to learn. And it's this whole mental mess, right? For those of you who are on this particular journey, you know what I mean. And then we get, the truth is like lost in translation. And it's hard for us to see the truth as to what's actually happening because we're so hurt and we're going through so much pain. We're operating from that space that we lose the truth altogether. What if this? What about this? Maybe it's this. Maybe I'm just like this. Maybe I'm not doing things right. Maybe they'll never come. Maybe we'll never be together. Maybe I'm insane, really. You wouldn't believe, or maybe you could, how many people book readings with me just to feel like they're not crazy, just to hear, wow, this is real, I'm not crazy. That's a whew, I can just exhale just with that one. I know what you mean. This is big stuff. This is big, big stuff. Where we run into issues, and what this new moon in Capricorn is showing us, is a lot of the attachment and the expectations that we have in the physical. And think about, relationships and how perhaps yourself, perhaps your partner, perhaps both of you, right, have really needed to have a relationship to make them feel like they have value. Have you been in relationships or wanted to be in a relationship because it just makes everything better? It's going to make everything better. It's going to be the problem solver. It's going to resolve it. I need a partner to be happy. I need a partner to make me feel like I'm worthy. Right? Only to find out that partnership doesn't exactly do that for you. It just brings up a lot of those same issues. And then you tend to go from partner to partner, bringing up the same patterns and the same problems. Right? This new moon is really showing the attachment to relationship, to a specific outcome, attached to how you think this journey should go or how you think it should be. Attachment to needing that romantic relationship with your twin or expecting that it will be that. Holding on tightly to it. Wanting it so badly because you feel it so badly and you feel this longing, you feel those emotions. Granted, I know that the emotions are real and the signs and synchronicities are in your face and they're real. Right? Some people may even question if they're real. But they're real, and the universe is speaking to us all the time in numbers and names and all sorts of things. But for how many hours out of the day are you focused on your counterpart and really needing to have that relationship with them and expecting that's where it's going to go? No one's saying that it won't. It may, right? For many it will. But how open are you? How surrendered are you? Is a big question. And, these types of perceptions the new moon has certainly brought up. The needing of the relationship, the wanting to have a relationship to feel better about the self. Also the themes of false identities, false sense of security, false sense of power, obsession or addictions having to do with materialism, even sex. These types of themes were brought up very, very heavily with this new moon. And how you and your counterpart relate to that, connected to trauma, core wounds. Many of them, a majority of them. Yes, some things do come from past lives, but a majority of the work can be found in our child healing, our child aspect healing, our childhood trauma. And Abandonment wounds are a huge focus. Rejection wounds, neglect wounds, and how that has impacted us and made us feel less than. Not worthy enough, not good enough, not lovable enough, not deserving enough. And if you have been operating from that, that has been a continuous cycle, a continuous theme with how you attract in the physical. And you see, with twin flames, we can't have those things there because we have chosen to step into wholeness, align with who we truly are. Now, what society makes us think that we are, and then we get caught up in the illusion. This new moon brought that up as well. But to align with who we truly are and to realize that we are good enough, we are lovable enough, we are deserving enough, and we don't need a relationship, we don't need anyone outside of ourselves to make us feel as though we have worth and valuable and that we're lovable. We have to bring those things to ourselves, or there is no union in the physical. And that's what this new moon in Capricorn harshly brought up. Harshly brought that up for many of us as to where we are in that. Things like betrayal, right? For some twin flames, it's in addition that you've had betrayal with your twin flame. Perhaps this has happened in another life, you brought it here. But there's been betrayal, there's distrust there. Again, you have that fear there of abandonment, rejection, and then resentment, the anger, the sadness, all of that related. Is it still there? Are you still operating from that? Because the triggers are gifts, guys. The triggers are gifts. Granted, they feel like crap. It feels like you're dying, going through it. And then for those of you who've been doing the work proactively, many of you, the feminine, have been doing the work proactively and known about the journey, have known about your counterpart, your masculine, for a while. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're frustrated with this journey, you're frustrated with how long it's been taking because you're sticking to the when, you're attached to the when, you're attached to the how's it going to happen, you're attached, period. And expecting that, the person that you're connected to is going to act a certain way, respond a certain way, do the work even a certain way, do the inner work. There's all this expectation and all this over focus on what's happening on the other end, what's not happening on the other end, when is it going to be, how is it going to be, when are we going to have kids, when are we going to have a wedding ceremony, and it's all this attachment, and the monkey mind goes crazy, and the emotions are all over, and this is what the universe is guiding us to do, guys. To go into this, into these themes, into the wounds, and into the attachment and expectation, and to heal it and to clear it where we are staying present, open. I mean open to how this journey goes, when it's gonna be, all those things. You throw that out the window and stay open to how this journey really is meant for you and your counterpart. So we have a lot of things in common on this journey, but still we have chosen a certain way on which this journey unfolds. But even that is flexible. And to realize it's not about a destination. It's a constant unfolding. It's a constant evolution of soul. It's a constant learning. Surrendering. Surrendering's big, and it's urgent now, guys. Surrendering. As far as a medicine animal, I got the owl. I usually bring up animals. I got the owl, and the owl is about what information is hidden, things that you may not realize are happening with your journey, but you think you know, you think you have it down, right? The mind thinks, I got this, I know it, I have it down. Hidden information. To also pay attention to what is coming up for feeling within you. What are you feeling? What are you intuitively getting? Without needing that physical proof, there's that physicality again. Without needing that physical proof or expecting that physical proof, how are you intuitively connecting to your beloved? How are you intuitively connecting to this journey? What is it that you need? What is it that your guides are trying to tell you? Whether how you're feeling it, whether if you're hearing them inside of your head, whether you're getting a vision, whether it's in your dreams, however that is for you individually. It's about trust. It's about trusting that intuition and trusting the higher powers. Trusting also blindly in what you can't see. There's the hidden realm as well. Trusting what you cannot see in the physical and not needing it. Even if you're getting the synchronicities, like the number signs and the names and the birthdays, all those different things. Okay, thank you, universe, for these signs. I appreciate that. Thank you. But not analyzing it to death and not, getting too attached to that. Again, a lot of release. I just looked at 1717. Speaking of numbers, I just looked down. It's 1717 is the synchronicity for this video. So how you relate to that. I have a couple notes here. Just want to see. Yes. The codependency, the codependency is a huge, huge thing about needing that relationship. To understand if there are patriarchal wounds or masculine wounds there, where it's connected to, your dad, your brother, just, males in general, males that you've been connected to in general, and how you have given your power away. And, for masculines, that's for feminine, for, actually, it could be interchangeable. Okay, it could be interchangeable. But giving your power away, those patriarchal wounds, and here's why, because we have the patriarchal wounds with, like, say, feminine giving their power away, but then we also have masculines have those toxicity of the masculine, right? That kind of toxic distortion. Being within narcissism, being overly controlling, being addicted to, needing to put on a show for people, believing their own BS, right? Believing, okay, I have it all together and I have it all, I have the money, I have the house, I have a lot of women, or whatever it is, and like being in this like lower, distorted, masculine, that needs to prove their worth in that way, that's distorted. And this is a huge thing there. This is a huge thing. Right? And where have the two, it's always parallel, how have the two men in low self-worth, low confidence, low value, all those things. How has that shown up in the physical? How does that relate to physical things, physical relationships, physical intimacy? How has that affected your physical health, right? Mind, body, spirit. Like how has that also affected your own physical health? That's Capricorn. Where has there been power suppression, power imbalances, that sort of thing? How that plays out again in the physical. Huge lifestyle changes are coming up for people now. You know, huge lifestyle changes. I just can't stress enough with the end of this video that it is so urgent that you surrender. Urgent that you surrender. That you completely detach. We know you're connected to your twin flame and you can't cut the cord. You're always, picking up on each other and connecting. We know that. But it is so urgent that you allow whatever is happening. If your partner is still within a karmic partnership or in a pattern, they're connecting with other partners and they're also trying to keep you in that mix too, and it's been toxic. If you have not set healthy physical boundaries, energetic and physical boundaries, if you've not set the boundaries there and surrendered and completely take your energy back, like pull it all the way back and focus on yourself, if you don't do that, you are not giving your counterpart the much needed time and space to really feel the distance. Now, granted, there's not, real distance, but to really feel that the pull away, we'll say. If you're always there and if your energy is always present and they're always used to it and they can have their cake and eat it too, how are they going to look at their own things? Okay, because there are very significant changes that are coming up to be made. How can they deal with their stuff? How can they go through their healing if they're so used to the fact that you're going to always be there? You'll always be there. So they could just keep their pattern going, keep their habit going, keep their relationship going, keep their addictions going, their behaviors going, and then you're there too. So it's not helping. I know that for some of you there might be that fear, if I pull away, then what happens if I lose them forever somehow? Like that's with the mind, thanks. Because you want to be able to want to have that control. It's that loss of control that I'm talking about. You'll understand a lot about the twin flame dynamic when you're able to really see that when you let go of control and you surrender to the path, surrender to the divine, and allow your beloved to feel the pain, go through the density, go through the tower moments, go through the dark night of the soul. When you're not constantly giving over to your counterpart, you're giving them the opportunity to deal with their own mess. And now I'm getting really passionate with this video because I've been through a lot in the last 24 hours. I never had said that I am perfect at these things. None of us are. But if you keep holding on and keep expecting and keep controlling and keep the focus on the other end, all of those issues that you're so worried about, it's just going to keep them going. Your beloved has to be able to look at themselves. They have to see it for themselves. You have your own themes too, right? You share stuff, but you have your own end of it. You have your own healing there. And as you do your own healing, take your focus off of the twin and detach and surrender and just step into your wholeness, realizing that it's just about that wholeness, you and the divine, and you and your higher self, and you making your life a great life no matter what. When you could be in that no matter what zone, no matter what, if I have a relationship with them or not, if you could be in that no matter what zone and stay within your happiness and your creative energy and your peace and stay present, there's union. There's union. You're allowing for union. You're the union. And then union is attracted to you. You're giving your beloved the absolute ability to find out union for themselves without the two being codependent on each other. So, take this video, and if you need to save it, like it, save it, return to it later, go deeper with things, share it with somebody, that would be great. That would be great. These are real truths here. These are real truths to the twin flame journey, which is not a cult. It is a collective. It is an ascension journey. These are real truths here. The things that are coming up for you, that are surrounding this, stay with yourself and know that as you're staying present and you're just staying with being, you're just being every day, and you're staying present, know that you're supported. You're supported. You're protected. Okay, and you don't have to stay so attached to this, because that's the whole point. Non-attachment and wholeness is soul liberation. It's the key to union. All right, so I'm going to end there, and I just had a download on my right ear, just went beep. Interesting things on this video. 1717 and a very loud download. So definitely interesting synchronicities there. So I know this video is going to be very influential, so I'm glad about that. Thank you so much for listening, for following along. I wish all of you the very best, the very brightest of blessings. Stay committed to yourselves. Stay committed to a very important journey for your own soul evolution and for the planet. And remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. And you'll see. Take good care. I love you all. Bye-bye.